Testing 1, 2. There we go. First of all, let me begin by saying Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, in the name of the God, Allah, the Compassionate, the Merciful. This is your brother Abdul Wadud, aka Questman. Assalamu alaikum, shalom, hotep, peace be with you. Let me start things off something like this here.
In this life we have only one try. Only one try.
Must have a liberation. United black comedic nation. That's the situation.
Black sisters to the right, black brothers to the left. Marching on cold, black fist against my chest. Brave, bold, and cold. They be the warriors. Salute to the soldiers. Salute to the soldiers. Black unity, black family. It's time for you and me to start the gathering. Just be black, unite, we clap black. Little I can go to stay on cold, gotta have that. NFAC operation, nation is united black principles. In its sense, all for the pride of the people, breaking the chains of the evil. Devil is death, the wellers, dream, break the get up in. 100 years of pain, they say all must come to an end. But when we get strong, come march a million on. Signs of the last day, what you waiting on? Come together, one million. Get together, one million. We come together, one million. And it's all water. Come together, one million. We got to get together, one million. When we come together, one million. And it's all water. Come together, one million. We got to get it together, one million. When we come together, one million. And it's all water. Why? Every time we want unified to kill a lot of our leaders, cover up of lies, face to the face, knees to the neck, who knew our flesh was worthy of disrespect. No, black men don't die. Even if they try, we gotta rise, restore the black family, strengthen ties, strengthen ties, strengthen ties. Always there, let not you despair. Remember who you are.
Okay, family. Just wanted to start off like that. Kind of how I was feeling how I am feeling at the moment. And I know most of the viewers that would have been watching this are probably in bed asleep, like I should be. But I wanted to keep my word, and I said I would drop a live when I got back home. So I'm home now, and I wanted to make sure I keep my word. I got home about maybe what time is it? About a couple hours ago. I had to settle down and get the babies in bed. But if you listen closely, you'll hear they're not actually in bed. But that's what happens when Baba's got other things to do. I can't. It's kind of hard to, keep things in order when they feel like they can take advantage of my absence and their presence. Anyway, as you can see right there, a picture. They say a picture is worth, what they say, a picture is worth more than gold or whatever. Um, or a penny for your thoughts or whatever. I don't know. One of those things, one of those expressions. I wanted to, start off with that, because today, or should I say yesterday, was a definitely motivated day, even though it wasn't, what we would, the type of scenario that we would want. In other words, this was dealing with our brother, having a court hearing. Um, make sure my mic is not echoing here. So, it's not the type of scenario that we would want. We'd rather, be boots on the ground, rank and file like we've been seeing and, moving on to the next phases of, what we need to be doing. But instead, we're hampered and hindered by the establishment who want to try to muzzle our brother, you understand, and, hem him up with, bogus charges. Um, I believe the charges being titled wanton endangerment. Um, a very interesting day yesterday, and I'm only going to skim through bits and pieces because not everything's everybody's business. You understand? Just this, it's just that way. And I understand that this is a live YouTube broadcast, which means it's public. Any and everybody and their mama can see it. Um, and I like to consider myself as one that strives to be respectful. You understand? To the to the cause in general. Anyway, let me there we go. So anyway, you see the title here is I am the weapon, and I'm quoting a strong black man's words. And this particular strong black man stood up before us and said these words, in response to, the fact that, because of the way the establishment has got, this brother, um, he's unable to bear arms right now. So his rights to bear arms are being, hindered. But, powerful words came out the mouth and said, one, I am the weapon. And that's what happens, family, when a black man stands up realizing his purpose and steps forward in that direction. You understand? When a black man realizes what their purpose is, they are in fact a weapon because the purpose we're talking about is the purpose of why we're even here to begin with. You understand? When a black man realizes that, puts himself in sync with the divine order, oh man, yes indeed, you have yourself a weapon. Okay, and they know that, and that's why they got these bogus charges, you know, aiming his way. But let's see here. So I'm gonna try to break this down in little bits and pieces. Um, but I want to start off. I only got just right after the brother said that some reporters came. They just popped up literally out of the nowhere. They're like, ha! Just came out the elevator wherever they were at. They just showed up, rushing the brother, wanting to ask him questions. And his response was no comment. And let me see if I could put that up here real quick. Uh, put this up here. Got a lot going on in the screen, so yeah, pardon my 20-minute delay. Um, I had to restart my PC and everything. Everything was all bogged down. I had hundreds of windows open and everything, just doing too much as I do. I'm always doing too much. That's why I'm sleepy and tired right now. So I'm not going to be taking all of your time now because, after all, I was just driving a long way. It's a long way from Cleveland, Ohio, to Louisville in one day and then back again. You understand? That's a travel. That's not easy to do, but it was worth the journey. It was. I feel it was an honorable, noble journey, to embark on, to be there and support our brother. Anyway, let me break it down like this. I was able to, attend the actual. I was actually able to go into the courtroom itself and see the brother there and everything. And like I said, I saw, all the benches to the right, all the benches to the left, nothing but brothers, nothing but black folks. You understand? And not just any black folks, but black folks specifically there. You understand? To identify with and support the brother. In fact, when the brother, achieved, whatever objective they had for that day and went about leaving, pretty much the majority of the people that was sitting on those benches got up and went out and left. It was like, oh, everybody out. And I could just imagine like the court reporter and everybody looking like, oh man, what is going on here? You know what I mean? Because they get spooked when a lot of black people move around and do stuff. They get all uneasy or whatnot when that happens. Orderly when you see some kind of you know a unity, they get spooked up with that kind of stuff. Anyway, the bottom line ended up being, our brother is not guilty. That's what the man said, and that's what we stand on. But we already know that. We already knew that. Anybody that knows anything knows that Brother Grandmaster Jay is 100% not guilty. And we know that there's a gimmick going on. We know that there's a shameful gimmick going on by the establishment to try to hinder this brother. They're hating on him on a mass scale. Trying to pull their power weight around. But the thing is, the more as the days progress and the more they go about what they're doing, the more they expose themselves. You understand? The more they start to get themselves deeper and deeper and deeper into trouble. You understand? Because they have to keep on creating new lies and new lies and more lies to follow those lies, end up being exposed. You understand? They end up exposing their hand. So let's see here. So anyway, the plea, not guilty. Very honest, straightforward plea, not guilty, right? But we go outside, and right there was this. I don't know. I don't even know who the media was, but there was a media crew, camera crew, and everything. And they wanted to bum rush the brother and say, hey. They say, hey, can we have a comment with you? Can we have a comment? Oh yes, indeed. Shalom, family. Shalom. Welcome. Come in. Welcome. I know this, getting everybody up out of the bed a little bit. I know you probably, unless you're on the other side of the globe somewhere in the UK or something, you're probably getting up, or you're probably in the bed. Um, I'm waking folks up, or maybe I kept you up. I don't know. Um, I'll just check this out. Let's see here. Hold on. I've got the sound. Let's try it again.
No comment, brother man. Brother man. Brother Jay. Here's one. You want this? No comment.
So you see all these reporters came with the cameras and everything. Even the brother was trying to, ask a few questions, but you can hear what everybody just saying, no comment, no comment, nothing to talk about. Go ahead, get on the elevator, I'm out, right? Nothing to discuss here, fam. Nothing to discuss here, no comment. And the funny part about it is the reporter kept trying to, find somebody in the crowd to say something. You see another cameraman in the back, they're disappointed. Like, we came all this way for nothing. They're so disappointed. Look at that. Look, brother, get on the elevator. He out there like, oh man. Look at it. Got the microphone. Anyway, just wanted to show you that was some news broadcast. I don't know if it was Kentucky's broadcast or like one of their nightly newses or whatever, but um, they went home empty-handed. They went home empty-handed. They didn't get nothing out of that, and that's the way it should be. I'm just saying that's the way it should be. It should be like that every time anymore. You understand? It should be like that every time these folks come running up with that mic in our face. We ain't got nothing to talk about. I ain't got nothing to say to you. What am I gonna say to you? Go find something else to do. You understand? Spin some lies, twist some lies somewhere else. Anyway, let me carry on here. Um, yeah, I want to definitely salute, the NFAC. You understand? It's a definite big major. They were holding the what do you call it? The peripheral. What do you call it? The I can't even speak military terms right now, but they were holding the grounds down. You understand? I mean, as soon as you rolled up at the courthouse, you saw the brothers there. You saw them. You understand? Making sure everything was everything. Had people. Of course, they always gonna have white people walking by looking like what's going on. They missed something. They didn't get the memo. But yeah, salute to those brothers. Salute to those brothers, and I was honored to you know uh, make sure that I stood with them and represented for the family. So yes, indeed, major salute to all those brothers and sisters standing strong and remaining firm and steadfast in this cause, and definitely being there for the brother. You understand? I mean, you got to understand why that's so important because you know since I mean earlier on, people, not just any people, but people from amongst us have been, hounding and hassling and shaming and blaming and ridiculing and, you know, spreading bigotry and everything against the brother. And if you could just imagine that the things that are thrown your way are false, and you know they're false, the people who know they're false, but yet they're still coming your way, and you're asking yourself like, well, going, I'm sitting here trying to do something in the cause. I'm trying to stand up for rights and right for us to defend ourselves and bear arms and whatnot legally. And these people coming at me like that. You understand? They ain't got nothing better to do. I mean, to me, like I said, a lot of us would have been done tapped out. We would have been done packed our bags. I'm sorry, I ain't even. But nah, this brother kept it going. So much so that ended up facing, being challenged with the state of Kentucky. You understand? Who saw that? They looking out their window like, oh no no no. You remember that part in the movie Malcolm X where that cop was like, this is just too much power for one man to bear. That's probably how they was thinking up in there. They had to figure something out quick, fast, and in a hurry to slow things down. But they didn't really slow anything down. They didn't slow anything down at all. They just allowed things to marinate. You understand? They allow things to marinate, and now is the inspiration is firmly rooted into the core hearts and minds of the people who are actually about this cause, who ain't about all that mess. You understand? We're there, on point. Boots on the ground, as they say, showing up. Some of, like I said earlier on the IG live, you got some coming from, South Carolina and Georgia, 12-hour, 9-hour, drives on the road, and when you're coming from South Carolina, you got to go through the mountains, the Appalachians. Sometimes it gets all stormy and whatnot. So I can relate. I'm sitting here complaining about my little drive from Cleveland to Louisville, and they coming from from a whole double the distance that I was traveling, and I'm exhausted. You understand? So anyway, yes indeed, definite salute there, and my daughter had to participate. She had to be she had to be the princess celebrity for the moment. She had to represent for the young ones, for the next generation. Because she'll be able to look back at stuff like this, like, oh, that was me, and she'll have to reference this moment with an understanding of what was going on, what this was all about, and why it was so important to her people. And you understand? And she'll be able to carry that torch, and who knows what the people in her time will be doing by that time. So who knows, what weight of impact, ones of her time will be dealing with at that time, just because of the stuff that's happening in our time, the seeds that are being planted. A lot of seeds being planted. So of course, now I don't know if you guys saw. Let me see here. Let me show you this one right here, right there. I don't know if you guys ever saw this picture before. This was a picture of my daughter and Grandmaster Jay. And it made her day, it made my day because, like I said, this is history to me. For me, all this, I know some people they just want to get pictures or whatnot, but for me, this this is a I'm looking far into the future. You understand? At the things that we do today, that every strong black man and black woman, the things that we do today, I'm looking at that, right, and seeing like, okay, right place, right time, right calls, making sure you're on the home team, the winning team, your team, our team, and supporting one another. Like I was saying all the way driving down the golden rule: want for your brother what you want for yourself. Golden rule, you know, and and you just imagine if you were in a situation, what would you want? When you're going through all the storms from without and the storms from within, what would you want? What type of situation would you want? You would want, you know, a team of people who are really serious. You understand? Who are really loyal to the cause. So anyway, that was an older picture right here. That's an older IG picture. But of course, we had to go ahead and represent yet again. So we had to update. We had to update. And yes, indeed, there we go again. Princess Shawadia had to go ahead and make her presence known. Like, look, I remember you. And even the brother was like, y'all remember her? And everybody was like, yeah. You understand? Just think in your mind about the long term effects on my daughter. You understand? As she grows up. You understand? And knowing that she experienced this, and she's going to get the lesson, she's going to get the knowledge, you understand, as she gets older, because I'm her baba. So that's just a guarantee, she's going to get that. But to actually have the history to back it up, to actually have been in key places and at key times supporting, being with her baba, supporting the cause. See, you pass it down. You inherit that wealth of power, that wealth of insight, of inspiration. So anyway, that, like I said, that was a blessed moment. And by the way, I'm going to go ahead and show this GoFundMe again. Like I said, I'm not going to be on here too long. Um, let's see, where is it at? Is this it? Yeah. So that's the GoFundMe. So make sure you take a look at that GoFundMe and support. And I'm gonna just say it like this for all those people who are doubtful or straddling the fence. This is a real situation. You understand? You got an individual, a black man, an individual who's got charges against him, real charges. Not This isn't a fantasy. You don't get on the court docket for free. You're on the court docket because you've got legal charges against you. That means you can go down. You understand? If the mess hit the fan, you can go down. That's charges. So, will the real people, will the real black family please stand up and represent and drop some dollars on this GoFundMe, because real charges require real support. And leave alone the fence stragglers, the naysayers, you know, the people who's just trying to get a moment of shine, like like the brother put it, to you know, enhance whatever they're doing. You understand? Just support the brother. Support what you see there, that GoFundMe, the Grandmaster J Legal Defense Fund, because this is real times with real things happening. Um, let's see here. So I'm just wanting to put these little things out there, and I've got some other things I want to break down. But I'm gonna have to do that either tomorrow or probably Friday or Saturday. I'll break bread on some more, very insightful things that very honored, things that took place, on that day. And like I said, I feel I don't know. I feel history in the making, but I feel it's seems bigger than just to say that. You understand? That seems to be too small to say. Oh, but it seems it's like destiny, something of that nature. Destiny, history, you know, divine interaction. You understand? Something big is happening in our time, and pieces are just getting put in place. You understand? And you just have to understand, recognize the signs, and make sure you're on the right side of what's going on. Make sure you're on the right side of our story. Um, that's all there is to it, family. Make sure you're on the right side of our story because you know many people are going to be caught sleeping, and it won't do them any good later after everything is already become so clear that they can't even deny it. It'll be too late. You understand? It'll be too late. It's just like any type of you know thing. When you become successful, it's that little red hen story. Y'all know the little red hen story. Now we're successful. Now the things are falling into place the way we had said they would. You understand? And now you want to hop on the team and get some of the bread. Nah, sorry, fam. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Not on the not even on the divine scale. Anyway, I'm trying to think here. I'm a little tired, exhausted, so if my thinking is sluggish, that's why. Yeah, you try doing that drive if you haven't. I mean, I'm telling you, man, that's whew, yeah. And the thing is I'm doing the drive. Everyone else gets to take a nap. You understand? Everyone else gets to rest their neck for a while. I'm just driving and driving. Got to turn on music. I got even had to get some the coffee. Go stop and get the coffee and everything. Um, but I think we need to start paying. I think we need to return our attention to these moments because, in my opinion, they're trying to catch us off guard. The system's trying to catch us off guard. You understand? I don't think that they were expecting, uh, you know, a certain amount of support showing up. You know what I'm saying? And these are sentiments that even the brothers and sisters that were there were feeling. You know what I'm saying? Even the brother was kind of noticing that because see what they like to do if there's no one there watching them do the dirt, they'll do it with no shame. But if there's someone there to watch it a certain way, they want to do it in a way that doesn't make them feel like they can be blamed. You understand? Um, that's one reason why I feel like this whole thing is going. They wanted to be able to, silence the brother, but make him look bad in the process. Like, see, we're doing this because he did this. He's a criminal. He's a bad guy, right? But in reality, you understand? They can't do any of this in a direct way because it would expose them and put them in a position of shame. They want to be able to do it and feel justified. They want to do their wickedness and feel justified because nobody can show them wrong or prove them wrong. But the thing is when the family keeps showing up, when the people keep showing up, our eyes and ears are there. We're watching. You understand? We know the story. We know what's going on. We know what happened. We know who said what. When was it said? How? We know if this person came. I mean, we're there. We're watching. Eyes and ears. You understand? Oh man, we got a brother still on the road. Woo. Man, that is drive safe. That's all I can tell you. Drive safe. That's what I'm saying. Long drives, man. That's a long drive right there. So I'm just saying, family. You know, you just gotta recognize. If you can recognize game, also recognize shenanigans as well. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of us, you know, we've been so programmed, from childhood. I mean, think about it. You're in public school. The fireman comes there, and you get to see the fire truck, and you think that the firemen, oh, they're the hero. I'm not saying they're not. You see the police out there showing you the badge, showing you around, and you get this type of um, idea about certain people, the president, the government, all these different sectors, you get this real positive, holier than thou, heroic idea or perspective about these. So when when something does take place, we tend to be hesitant to respond because in many cases our reaction is, well, what did he do? That's what you say. What did he do? Not what are they saying? What is the claim? Not. Wait a minute. How do you know? Or well, he's a person is innocent till proven guilty. But when we're asked when people are asking what did he do, they're assuming that the person's already guilty. You understand? He must have did it because they got him, so he must have did it, right? They have him. It's right there. It is cuffed up in the court. He must have did it, and that's not the right way. That's not intelligent. You understand? That's not intelligent. And it's that mentality that will cause people to hang a person that's innocent and free a person that's guilty. You understand? That mentality. You understand? No, people responding off of sheer emotions and not with intel, not with knowledge. See, I like to show up. I like to support because I like to be. When I support anything, I like to support based upon awareness, based upon a cognizance, not just somebody on YouTube talking or IG lives and all that. I like to, okay, I was there, I saw, I know what I know, I saw what I saw, like that. You understand? For me, you know, that strengthens my resolve. That strengthens my ability to say, okay, yes, I'm going to support, or no, I'm not going to support. Because then I can say it. I'm not speaking for anyone else. I'm not saying, well, if maybe you see something that I don't see, or maybe you miss something that I missed. But I don't think you can unless you know, involve yourself in a way where you would be able to have a firm footing. YouTube lives where you're speaking opinions and guessing isn't that approach, isn't that way. And many of these people, some of the brothers, some of the people that have talked down and all that in the past months or whatever, they've never even met the brother before. They've never even met the brother. They get a few clips of videos and this and that and try to mush it together and make something out of it because of their oratory and because maybe they have a smooth way of talking, where it sounds like, oh man, you see, he said so. We can't be that slow, family. We can't be that slow. We're supposed to be kings and queens, descendants of royalty. You understand? Not clowns and fools or whatnot. Clowns and coons. Got to be better than that. So anyway, like I said, for me, it just makes sense that the people pay more attention. And if you haven't been a supporter, if you haven't been a part of the supporting cause, then no, you should be. You should be a part of it. You understand? Because, like I said, real events need real responses. And the bottom line is, if we allow people to oppress us, if we allow people to subjugate those who stand up to some type of oppression, some type of silencing, some type of bigotry or whatnot, it's not going to stop there. You understand? It's not going to stop there. I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know if this is a news flash to you or whatever, but it's not going to stop there. They're going to keep on, keep on. If they can deal with one, crush one. I mean, where do you know a war like that? Like, all right, we busted up their front door. Let's go home. No, they're gonna try to get in there and see what you got up in here. We done kick down your front door. Let's see what's up in here. Oh, you got this right here. Yeah, let's go ahead and take some of those and move up on in here. In most cases, that's the way oppressors operate. So, but the more people that become aware, The more people are alert to these things going on, the more people can be responsive. It's not enough responsiveness, if you ask me. And unified. I'm not talking about just collection here, collection there. I'm talking about a unified response. Imagine if we could have a solid unified response. Do we still have that in us? A solid unified response with the knowledge that, hey, you could be next. You could be next. The enemy is like, let's start with the top. Let's start with the higher ones in the higher positions, the elites amongst them. Let's topple them, hem them up, incarcerate, lock them up. Once they get rid of these, then the rest of the people, the flock, if you would, is easy pickings. Because most of them aren't going to do anything anyway. You understand? Some people are just trying to live their life and get by, get in one and out the other. And not trying. We don't want no problems. We don't want no trouble. I got family. I got wife and kids. That's the common mentality. So not that. Oh yeah, I have wife and kids, but look, I'm seeing what's happening to them. That could easily happen to my wife and kids or me. I can't let it go down like that. So why don't I try to, stand up with a firm, solid resolve and see what I can correctly, honorably do something about it, and not just sit around talking about it all day long. We got brothers and sisters out there putting in paperwork, putting in boots on the ground, putting in a lot of things for our self-determination, for us to be able to realize our aspirations for unified to be a unified people. um and the thing I would hate is that the consider that they would be doing it all in vain, because at the end of the day, you know who's got their back. We got a strong sister out there putting all kinds of diplomatic paperwork in, trying to get reparations and self determination, all kinds of stuff happening. Being more than just a loud mouth. Really, really responsive, really active. And many of us, this we hop on these YouTube lives and IG lives just to be entertained. And I want to give a shout out, again to Sister Ophelia and brother a brother. I'm not going to mention his name because I don't think he wants his name mentioned. But I appreciate your help and your aid. Because that definitely enabled me to be able to make it there sound and safely and back home sound and safely. So it was definitely your support for the journey was definitely appreciated, Sister Ophelia. Um, let's see here. I'm trying to think. I'm forgetting someone's name. But when I remember it, I'll mention. I'll shout that out the next time I get on one of these lives, because I don't have my thing in front of me where I can see my phone's charging, so I can't even look at that. Anyway, yes, indeed, that was an honor. So when you come to a situation like that, and everybody recognizes everybody, everybody knows everybody, and they know that everybody is about the cause. Is a certain spirit in the atmosphere. You understand? There's a certain spirit of unspoken unity. You understand? Like I told one brother, you just know, you just understand. There's nothing to talk. You already know. I know. Okay, we know. You understand? Do they know? They don't need to know. No comment. No comment. I'm telling you, that if you had to hear the brother say it, it was just so sharp and crisp. It's like they asked for it. It was like a verbal smack upside the head. Excuse me, sir, but can we ask you some questions? No comment. Pow! Get on the elevator, off we go. Up. Got their keep right, they got their mic and the camera. They done fixed everything up, got themselves all fixed up and everything to ask this man a question, only to be turned away. None of your business. No comment. That's how we gotta be. I'm just saying that's how we gotta be with these folks. There's nothing to say to these folks. Stop going to these folks. Stop explaining yourself. There was one elder who was trying to, express his feelings. Um, and I definitely understand the feeling, his sentiments. But the thing is, the days of yelling at these people are over. You understand? They made it clear that they're tone deaf, to the suffering. Many of them know the suffering. They're participating in causing the suffering. You understand? So they're obviously not going to, take an ear to any suggestions to stop the suffering. You understand? I mean, that's just a fact. There's only one solution to that. You understand? Those who know, they know that they know. But these so-called would-be, neutrals and would-be supporters or whatnot from amongst them, you better act like you know. You better act like you know. Many of them know. They got motives. They got agenda, shenanigans. Again. So I'm just saying this is how we have to be, family. No comment. No comment. Sometimes no comment is your greatest weapon. Sometimes no comment is your greatest weapon. Sometimes not saying anything to the enemy at all is your greatest weapon. It leaves them on their toes. What do they know that I don't? What do they have? What are they doing? Why are they all so in sync right now? How'd they get that part? What did I miss? They're all in harmony. They're all in rank and file. They're unified. What did I miss? I was smoking my cigar and I rode in my limousine. I was checking the documents for my next political talk, and next thing you know, I see these black folks unified. What did I miss? I miss, I'm just saying, family, we've got to have more courage to do stuff like that. Got to have more ability to not feel that we have to explain anything to them. There's nothing to talk about. Every time we've talked about anything before, all you have to do, you got plenty of old broadcasts if you want to see what happened to those before us who felt that somehow, well, maybe if we just talk, we can reason. Next thing you know, they get hemmed up, killed, arrested, locked up, trying to reason with people that you can't reason with. You understand? Can't reason with them. They take what you say, since like I said, they've got ulterior motives anyway. They take what you say and then twist it and make their own scenario out of it. See, now, the black family, we've been able to hear and witness and see and things like that. So they can't do that because we have control of the narration now. That's how it should always be. It should always be that we have control of our narration. They don't get to dictate it, control it, change it, shift it. No, here's what happened. Here's how it happened, and we're not explaining it to you. This is a need to know amongst us type situation. You don't need to know. None of your business. No comment. I'm just saying, you've got to be sharp like that. You gotta be sharp like that. You gotta be. It's like a double-edged sword. Hmm. Yes, indeed. Racism doesn't. It doesn't serve anyone at all. There's no benefit. No one wins. You understand? It only furthers oppression. But we have to recognize the core source, you know, of racism in our time. Because as many leading ones have already said numerous times, how can a black man and black woman be racist? What power do we have to manifest it, to make it effective against another people? What power do you have uh, to when you say something racist or do something racist that it can cause a whole people to die, to become sick, to become injected with a poisonous jab? You understand? Do you have any power like that? Anybody? Does anybody have any power like that to be able to, show up and manifest your racism backed by authority? I don't think so. I don't think we have that kind of power yet. And the thing is, I put forward the idea like, look, imagine if we were united. Imagine if we were unified and had everything that we're struggling for. Would we be like these people? Is it in our nature to as a collective people to be like these people? Well, I would challenge the answer is no. It's not in our nature. Because whenever we've got together and decided to do something as a community, it always became flourishing. I mean, all you have to do is look at the different cities that we had completely occupied. You understand? Tesla and so on. Over there in what Philadelphia and whatnot, and look at the how the economy was thriving. Order, no chaos, no nonsense. Business going to and fro, money going right and left, black owned. They saw that and hated on it because it was too much like right. It was too much like not white. So that's what happens. So all that does is tell me, and we weren't even in a full position of power. We was just they were just in running the city right. But imagine if we were in power. I often ask if I often ask the question if they never colonized Africa, how would their advancement in technology and things of that nature, how would it have become? What would we have ascended to if they left us alone? But then again, there's this concept of destiny. I think that as a result of us being involved with these folks, that the pain is real, but it's caused us to really take start taking this life seriously. You understand? Start taking what it means to be unified seriously. See, many of these people, they got the benefit. They are born into some system of unification. If you're Chinese, you're born into a life where you already know who you are, you know where you come from, you know your people, you get in where you fit in. If you're Mexican, you know where you come, you know what you do. You guys talk in the same language, the same culture, same way. Get in where you fit in. Only we have to come up and put the pieces together, figure it out, hear a bunch of sermons and speeches and lectures and talks and marches and walks and whatnot. Say, oh, we're supposed to be unified. What? I mean, that's how we're the only people on the planet that have to be woken up, reminded to be unified because of the years and years and years of breaking us down and breaking and draping and misleading and deceiving and all the hundreds of years of doing that really messed up our dome. You know what? You want to know why I say the light dome? Because my objective is to build up my capacity to reflect, to contemplate, to think in an enlightened way. You understand? Light up the dome, family. Light up the dome, the light dome. That's the soul journey of life that I'm talking about. hmm Let's see here. I'm looking at some of the comments here. We got Sister Gloria. Peace and blessings. Welcome, Sister Gloria. I'm trying to understand the nature. So you're blaming folks of other races for black genocide, a practice that black leaders called pro-choice. A practice that black leaders call pro-choice. But who are financing those black leaders? You understand? One of the things, see, you can't separate causes and effects. You can't say, well, these people are doing this particular action, but they're being paid for by still being paid for by the enemy. Sometimes the enemy can operate through you. You understand? Through an individual, paying you, or if they've programmed you enough, then all they have to do is let you loose, let you out there, let you do you, because they know they've downloaded enough programming into your mind that you're going to speak on their behalf anyway, unknowingly, unwittingly. But it's see, it's not as simple as just blaming somebody. that happens to be of another race. Is we're dealing with statistics. We're dealing with numbers here. You understand? When you're dealing with numbers as a people, how it's like an organism. Your heart cells, all your heart cells. If you take a heart cell and put it in a microscopic dish, it beats all by itself, like a little heart. It's beat, boop, boop. It beats all by itself. And then if you let's say you put a bunch of heart cells in that same dish and don't have them touch, they will all beat their own rhythm. They all have their own little beat. It'll sound like a bunch of madness. It's boop, 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 all like that, right? But the minute those heart cells touch one another, they start beating on a chord. Boop, boop, boop. One rhythm. You understand? I'm saying this to say you have to understand that even though we are individuals, we got this mind of I'm me, I'm not, you're not me, I'm not you, or no, but actually, on a higher scale, we operate like one organism. You understand? People operate like one. When you zoom out and look at the constant things that a people do collectively, you understand? You get an idea of their nature. So when most of your murders, most of your genocides, most of your acts of crimes against humanity, who are the people as a whole in mass perpetrating those crimes? Hmm. So, okay, I don't mind having a little debate, but I'm a little tired. I wanted to go to bed, but Gloria wants to come at me. But I enjoy it. Much respect and love. Welcome again. Welcome, welcome, Sister Gloria. She says, let me read before. It says she's quoting Martin Luther King first. There is a striking kinship between our movement and Margaret Sanger's early efforts. Quoting Martin Luther King Jr. Then she says, I understand black leaders, according to you, she's referring to me, I'm assuming, are not responsible for their actions. And that, I don't recall saying that anywhere in anything that I said. I don't recall resolving anybody from their actions. Everybody's accountable towards what they do. First of all, I'm a religious person. So I believe that your intentions and actions, you're accountable for what you do in this life as an individual. There's a saying that there'll be people who will be blaming their leaders in the punishment, of the hereafter. There'll be people who will be blaming their leaders, and the leaders will be asked about it and say, "Well, I didn't, I just told them what to do. They're the ones who did it." You know, Everybody will be, the father, will be punished for what the father's doing. The son will be punished for what the son is doing, not for what the father did or what the son did. You understand? Like that. Each person. However, it still doesn't disconnect the causes and effects. You understand? How did this come into being? You understand? Who's originally responsible for it? You can't, make these separations because they don't exist. You understand? Like I said, when you deal with people on a collective scale, you will see that as a people, they operate like a single cell organism, like one organism. They operate like one whole organism. You understand? Yeah, when you pick different people apart, you get the little tiny variations that give the appearance of them being distinct. But what do we do as a collective? I mean, think about it. When you want to, if you go back in the days and you wanted to think about hip hop, what ethnicity would you refer to about hip hop? Would you go to China if you wanted to listen to some hip hop? Would you go to Brazil? No, you're going to go to the brothers and sisters of this land right here, because that's what and it wasn't just east, it wasn't just west. It spread around like wildfire in the community. You understand? It spread around and it spread around, but it was our thing. When you talked about hip hop, you were talking about black culture. You understand? I don't know the madness they're doing today. I don't really, a lot of some I don't even call it hip hop, but in our time, when hip hop was, at its height, its glory stage, if you would, it was a black thing. Every now and then you had a needle in a haystack white person that oh, look, he's got some skills and he's white, and that was something special because it wasn't common for white folks to be rapping in the first place. So when you saw one doing it, it was something that stood out. You understand? But you wouldn't have a white rapper, you wouldn't have a white rapper if there was no brothers or sisters doing it prior to them. If we didn't rap, nobody would be rapping. Let me just say it that way. If black folks didn't rap, nobody will rap. You understand? And you could take that with a lot of other aspects of of what we put forth throughout our time. If we didn't bring it forth, I mean, these folks would still probably be square dancing, and that's assuming that didn't come from us somewhere. I don't know if there was some African tribe somewhere where they were doing some Shaka was doing a square dance. I don't know, but all I'm saying is much of what you see today, especially when it comes from cultural base, it originates. If it has any soul in it, it originates from us as a people. I mean, you can't go anywhere without seeing somebody rocking, a Tupac shirt or something. Go to like Bangladesh and some little boy's got a Tupac shirt on. What made him wear that? Why is he wearing that shirt? Because he was influenced by one of us. Think about that. Think about how you can go anywhere in the world and see our influence manifesting. That should tell you something about our nature, folks. At the same token, think about wherever you go in the world. When somehow, if there's a corrupt government, if there's a people who are suffering or oppressed, somebody somewhere just happens to be responsible for it as a people. Yeah, people have had beef. You go to our ancestral times in ancient Africa. There was different types of intertribal conflict, but it was nothing that could compare with the effects that happened with colonization. The effect of being able to rule a country indirectly without not necessarily have to actually be there physically. These things really changed the dynamic of how they were able to go around conquering the world. And they didn't just stop there. Like I said, mischief and bloodshed. So you go by what people do as a collective and not just as an individual. Black mothers are not being, Gloria says, black mothers. First, let me see what, recognize the truth says, or responding to Gloria. Black leaders are responsible for their action, but white supremacy is responsible over the system and responsible for what they engineered and engineer against black peoples as a whole. Very good. That's what I'm saying. Cause and effect. Cause and effect, family. You can't look at the end game, the end result, and say, well, that's the blame. How did it get to that point? What's sponsoring it? What's financing it? What's nurturing it? What's keeping it alive? What initiated it? You understand? All those are factors. Who is the bottom line responsible? Yes, every duck, goose, and coon is responsible. You understand? They can't be resolved. All these coons, they can't. They are responsible for their coonery. You understand? They're responsible for every act of coonage that they do. But how did they become this way? And what's influencing their coonery? You understand? So anyway, Gloria continues, as you see in the comment here, black mothers are not being strapped to tables for forced abortions. Oh man, this person needs some history lessons. They do it freely with their eyes open. But let's concentrate on rap music. That's what counts. Okay, well let's concentrate on let's concentrate on programming. You understand? Let's concentrate on what you do. If you got a TV in your living room, Gloria, then and if you have any children that are sitting there in front of watching it, then guess what? They're eating up every bit of programming that you are unwittingly, or maybe knowingly allowing them to take in. And so while you're sitting there, chatting on your phone or whatever you do, your children are being draped off. They're sitting there being draped off. Now add 10 years to that. 10 years of while you're sitting there goofing around, thinking that everything should just magically fall in its place. Your children has spent 10 years being draped off by the programming that's been established by who? These major media corporations owned by who? See, when we talk about responsibility, you got to dig real deep into that if you're going to make that challenge. Um, so it's so in this case, black mothers have been forced. When you deceive someone, when you implant fears, misinformation, misguidance, deception, and a person is made to respond this way, they're in effect being forced because they haven't been equipped with the right tools to make a sound decision about something that they're about to do to themselves. So yeah, they might have physically, willingly got onto the bed for the doctor to perform their abortions, their abortions or whatnot. But what got that in their head to begin with? You understand? Even right now, to this day, you don't when you see them walk into those offices, nobody's slowing down. No, no, no. Are you sure you want to do this? You could give it up for adoption. I'm just saying that's just an option. They don't do that. They'll put everything in your face. Yeah, abort. See, here's the benefits of abortion. Here's why you should abort. In fact, you're doing. We support you 100%, sister. We're on your side. Go ahead and abort. Whole organizations, whole committees of people protesting and holding up banners. You know, we have a right to abort. I'm just saying. So understand how it got to that point. You got to stop looking at the surface, at the end result. You understand? Trees don't just have fruit automatically. You understand? They don't just, here's an apple tree covered with fruit, all to your liking, appears out of nowhere. How the heck did it get here? And that seems to be what unfortunately our sister Gloria is suffering, is not seeing that things don't just arrive the way you notice it or the way you're seeing it now. Yes, we can see that these things are happening now. Black sisters are willingly, giving themselves to abortions and whatnot. But how did it get to that point? You understand? How did it get to that point? How did it get to that point? Think about the breakdown of the family structure, where the mother and father exist. You understand? Where there's a mother and father, and they're strong, they're on their code, they're on their point, raising their children properly. You understand? Where there's marriage established, and the children grow up on the principles of marriage. You're probably not going to have too much in the way of abortion going on in a situation like that. You understand? But when you remove these pieces and you put something else in its place, deceptions and alluring attractions that break you away from the things that help you grow up strong as a black family, when you put these things there, you understand, then you end up with people who will readily take on, abortions and many other things, damaging themselves. I mean, look at what's happening today. Like the brother, the brother is the jabbity jab jab, right? And think of how many people just go ahead, just put it in me, go ahead. How did it get to that point? How did it get to the point where that we are so trusting after having a history where we know that that we've been made experiments as experiment subjects? So these are the realities, family. These are the realities. We could, the thing about these type of things. I don't know. Maybe Sister Gloria felt that I was not aware that things didn't start off this way. But yeah, yes, people don't just wake up saying, "Hey, let me take the jab." Like I said, think about everything. Think about the way we've been brought up, the programming. We've literally been taught to see these people as manifestations of Christ Jesus. You don't have to take my word for it, but pretty much any image that you have when you think of a hero, when you think of somebody honorable and noble, is some white person standing there, with his chest puffed up and his nose up in the air. You understand? Whether it be him wearing a police uniform, a fire uniform, a Superman uniform. You understand? And so we've got this idea that the height of success, or the best example of any noble action, is some white guy or some white girl. And we get this again and again, chewed and digested and regurgitated and digested again, and then you drop your defenses. So you allow your children to just sit there, and you'll say, well I said, but brothers, sisters, why are you letting your children watch that? Because it's for children. These shows are. This is just child. It's a child show. Says who? Who told you that was a child show? You got children show where people are doing all kinds of abominable actions right before your eyes, depicting abominable shapes and gestures and sexual suggestions right before your eyes. Oh, it's just a child show. Just um, it's okay. They're just children. It's just something funny. That's what happens. And then that generation grows up like that, carrying the same old. Look, every year, think about every year. You know that the 25th was nobody named Jesus' birthday. But every year, you keep doing the same madness. Every year, the 31st of August or 30th of August, people are guising themselves with all kinds of demonic suggestions and whatnot, going around, begging for candy. Every year, the same madness. But it's just for children. You come into the scene, you come into the world, parents already programmed to lie to you. Every year on Christmas Eve, Santa comes down the chimney bearing gifts. And if you're a good little boy or girl, who knows what kind of gift you might get. But if you're a bad boy or girl, you'll get coal in your stocking. And then one day the little boy gets up out of the bed and sees your parent stuffing the stockings in the trees with the gifts. Like, wait a minute. I thought that was Santa Claus. Well, he was sick. You see that little thing in the sky? This is what I was told once. You see that little glowing red thing? That's Rudolph. And later on, I saw the same glow, and it was an airplane. And I'm just letting you know, as a child, that humiliated me to know that these folks had lied to me. So I'm just saying, when you think, oh, it's just for children, you got to understand that a child can't always express himself the way you can express as you become an adult. So they don't always have all the words, all the ways to say, I don't understand this, I don't like this, I don't know why this is happening, I don't want it. They don't know how to do that, well, as an adult. That's why when you got this rampantly growing, what do you want to call it? Developing culture of pedophilia that's going on right now. I mean, so much so that even the head of the establishment has made it plain that this is how he gets down. You understand? This is, I mean, you begin to normalize wickedness. You begin to normalize wickedness. So much so that it becomes just another aspect of life. Oh, it's okay. They're just children. Until it becomes your child. Oh, it's my daughter. Oh, it's my son. Oh, why did you do this? But it's just for children, right? That's what you said. It's just something for children. And then you see your child getting snatched off into a black van or something somewhere, sold off to the Netherlands, and then when they do come back, they're missing an organ. If they come back alive, they wouldn't be alive, but you get my point. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see what. This is getting interesting. Here we go, Gloria. To the others listening, without our progeny, there's no future. Where's there Where there's life, there's hope. Pop culture never drove a mother to the mortuary. But I got to challenge that. I'm sorry, Gloria. There's no excuse, no atonement. While I accept the fact that, like I said, again, people are accountable to what they do. Because at some point in your life, you gain the abilities to reason. You understand? Discernment. You get the ability to discern, and you can weigh things like, wait a minute, something's not right about this. Let me go ahead and not do it. Right? or I think this is a better approach. You have that ability when you get reach a certain age. We use what's called our brain, right? But if you've been so heavily misindoctrinated with corrupt philosophies, corrupt concepts, principles, then what happens? You start when you've been programmed. You understand? You've got all that to get through before you can even try to reason. And some people, many people that you will meet, don't want to go through all that hard work. You understand? That's too much. You understand? They don't want to do. Most people that you meet, they don't want to do the homework. You understand? That's why many of these people, have gotten draped off of that jabbity jab the brother's talking about because they don't want to do the homework. They don't want to, you know, dig in deeper. I'm too busy. I got People are mentally lazy. People are mentally lazy. So, this is so anyway. What you do actually have pop culture, movies, you name it, do drive mothers into the abortuary. You don't have to believe me. Just keep on watching the films. Like right now, you've got this movement propagating, interracial relationships. You'll see. You don't have to take my word for it. Check out your next commercials. Check out your next TV shows. Check out your next movies, and watch the relationship when you see a black man. 9 times out of 10, his wife is going to be some white woman who's probably established or had a better standard of living, and so the black guy is like feeling like he's got a trophy or something. Or if it's the case of the other way around, it'd be a white man with a black woman who may have had an ex-husband who was a black guy who was terrible or no good. He's incarcerated or he died doing something silly, and here's the white guy who came and basically saved their day. This is what you have going on. Programming. And Gloria she wants to say this man talks down to people. He spent 15 minutes legitimizing aborticide. How low can he go? Wow. The only thing I can say about Gloria, she's got one hell of an imagination. Because, I mean, anybody could easily play these videos back or this live back and comb it through, with a sharp tooth comb and see if I had said anything talking down about any particular people or legitimizing aborticide. That's what she claims. She says that that's what I did, but I mean, if you find it, I'd like you to highlight it, point out. You can even put the little number, the tracking number or whatnot, so we can explore that brother Abdul Wadud did in fact say this. But no need to entertain vanity. Um, people that come on this live, as long as they're respectful, they can speak their mind. I don't have a problem with taking on differences of opinions. Um, all I ever ask is that people remain respectful. But here, I just see fiction going on. A fictitious conversation in the development. It almost seems like Gloria is trolling me. And I'm saying that because that rarely happens here at Soul Journey of Life. Am I being trolled? Perhaps. But, you know, it's there. I haven't blocked her or anything, so I guess I can entertain it for a little while until I exhaust myself because I still should be going to bed. I still should be. Yeah, you're right. I do need to straighten myself out and take a nap. It's definitely past my bedtime. My babies are still wide awake. Anyway, black family, you know, my focus on this for this live, in particularly, is particularly about the events, our brother Grandmaster Jay, and supporting what he's going through. That was the purpose of this live. You understand? I am the weapon. Very powerful quote. And the thing is I think when you realize that you are, a weapon in and of yourself, then you offend people who um who aren't capable of seeing, and who've been programmed with this idea that what can a black man ever say worthy of note. And this is becoming a lot of this is becoming a popular thing nowadays with a lot of the anti uh, alpha male movements. You understand? When a black man stands up and speaks his mind with an affirmed position, you know, this people just rise up to try to break him down, and that's what happened to the brother. This was a black man standing up in a prominent alpha male uh, disposition, and that offended so many beta males and lesser thans. They've been banking for so long off of mere lip service, off of shenanigans, off of hypocrisy, that when someone actually steps up and challenges them to really do something, they caught feelings. You understand? They caught feelings. Thus, he definitely had to come hard with the facts over feelings series. Yes, indeed. I'm definitely yes, indeed. I'm glad I made it home safe too. Every time I drive and I've got my family in the car with me, there's always a divine prayer preceding it, because you never know if you're going to get home. You understand? You don't know what you never know what the day is going to bring. All a person can do is get up with um, you know a clear mind, you know, a perspective, an objective, to fulfill, you know, and go about his day, go about her day, on behalf of your family, on behalf of, hey, I've got my children to support, I've got, my spouse has needs, my children has needs, I have needs. So, and the roads can be hazardous. It was raining all the way, and there's parts of the road where water was causing cars to slide around. You get truck drivers falling asleep at the wheel and everything. You can see them swerving off into the middle of the lane. It gets real out here. It gets real. And Ohio is the state of mystery weather. You understand? You don't understand what I'm saying? Go ask any Ohioan what I mean by mystery weather, and they'll tell you. Ohio is the state of mystery weather. You don't know what's going to happen here. So anyway, family, Gloria, go ahead, get yourself some nice rest. You know what I'm saying? Dream about aborticide solutions, perhaps. Maybe you've got the next breakthrough. I don't know. You might have the next breakthrough. What do I know? What do I know about abortions and stuff like that? What do I know about programming, and what do I know? I mean, I'm Abdul Adu. When I think about the grand scale of the universe, the grand scale of all that be, you know, uh, my level of knowledge amounts to the less than the period at the end of a sentence. When I think about, so I don't don't see me as someone who thinks they're holier than thou or better than, but just your brother. That's me right there, just your brother. You know, so I don't know, maybe you've got some valid points, but I just didn't notice it yet. I say yet because you can ponder, you can reflect over things. And sometimes you like, okay, I see where she's coming from. I see what she's talking about there. It makes some sense. But sometimes it doesn't happen that way. Sometimes you have resolve, you have principles that you uphold, moral values, and when things collide with those, you have to decide what weighs heavier. And for me, you know, the integrity of being who I am as a man. You understand the principles that I have regarding moral behavior, moral character, regarding um, doing things on the basis of being properly informed, on the awareness of how how programming happens and misinformation takes place. When I think of all these things and the tools that I have at my disposal to counter them, you understand? It forces me not to be able to see what ones like Sister Gloria is coming with. It's hard to do that. Um, all I could say, is bring me a glass of orange juice that's better than mine, and you know, it'd be what it be. But so far, this particular commercial, the glass of orange juice that I'm drinking from is pretty good. Pretty good. It's been working for me for quite some time now when it comes to my ability, my faculties of reasoning. But there's always someone a step higher. There's always someone a step higher than the next person. You may have beaten 100 people in arm wrestling, but there's going to be one that's going to come and get you. Shout out to Israel Adesanya, very, very, very powerful fighter, powerful brother. You understand? But even as powerful and as great as he was, he did, as any, he did have to meet defeat. But the thing about when he met the defeat, he didn't. It didn't stop there. He got up and said, "Look, this story continues." You understand? He wasn't a loser. Being de- being defeated here and there doesn't make you a loser, family. Suffering defeat doesn't make you a loser, especially when you can see you can get back up. And now you say, okay, well the enemy does this and he did that, so I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come like this. Eventually, end up winning, but on a whole nother level. And that's the thing about what we're dealing with now. We keep, there was a period of rescheduling of court dates, another day, another day, another day, court date. I mean, I could just imagine the frustration. But the thing is, I could smell, I could sense victory in some form. I don't know the form. I can't tell you the form, because victory has different ways of manifesting. It could be a historic victory. You understand? It could be, a momentary victory. It could be, any levels or grades of victory. But I feel there's one that must happen. There's a saying in the a quote in the Quran, "Fa'inna ma'al usri yusra." Inna ma'al usri yusra, which translates, "So verily, after difficulty comes ease." Verily, after difficulty comes ease. So we're dealing with some difficulty now. Brother's dealing with some difficulty now. It's got to be some ease at some point in our saga. It's got to be. It's just the way the law, it's the way the divine law works. Anyway, family, I appreciate those that woke up, got out of bed, or whatever you was doing, um, to entertain this live here, and hopefully I'll be able to sit down and collect some of the things that I was able to gather from my experience and develop, produce something that could be inspirational to the family. Um, we'll see, we'll see, because one of the things I want to do, I want to share, but I also want to be mindful that not everything is for everybody. You understand? Not everything's for everybody. Some things are just not everybody's business, and some things, you want to make sure that everything is clear, of all involved, or at least that what you do or what you present is done in a way that protects each person's interest, that doesn't cause any or inflict any harm, any form. We just have to handle with care. This is what being on code is all about. Just being mindful of what you should do, how you should do it, when you should do it, things like that. What to say, what not to say, where to go, where not to go. Be on code. Stay on code, black family. Stay on code. So yeah, this is your brother Abdul Wadud, aka Questman, coming at you with another live on Soul Journey of Life, the Light Dome. And until next time, and stay tuned. There's going to be some new things. There's some new things in the working, being fine tuned as we speak. Um, Hopefully, they'll be clear for me to you know break bread about in days, if not a couple of weeks. Hopefully, not that long, but we'll see. But just stay tuned, and also stay tuned for some more updates Just some of these things are exclusive, meaning you know I have them and no one else was able to get. But we'll see. Uh, inshallah, God so willing, we'll see. So I want to leave the family with something inspirational to look at on my way out the door. Assalamu alaikum, shalom, hotep, peace be with you, brothers and sisters.
Must have a liberation. United Black Comedic Nation. That's the situation.
Black sisters to the right, black brothers to the left. Original cold black fist against my chest. Brave, bold, and cold. They be the warriors. Salute to the soldiers. Salute to the soldiers. Black unity, black family. It's time for you and me to start the gathering. Just be black, unite, we clap black. Little I can roll, stay on cold. Gotta have that. NFAC operation, nation fish. United Black principles. Give it sense. All for the pride of the people. Breaking the chains of the evil. Devils, death, the wellers. Dream, take the turn, I get up in. 400 years of pain. Insane, always come to an end. But when we get strong, come marching on your lawn. Signs of the last day, what you waiting on? Come together. One million. Get together. 1 million. We come together. 1 million strong. And it's all for come together. 1 million. We got to get together. 1 million. When we come together. 1 million strong. And it's all for come together. 1 million. We got to get it together. 1 million. When we come together. 1 million. And it's all every time we want unified to kill a lock of our leaders, cover up our lies, face to the face, knees to the neck, who knew our flesh was worthy of disrespect. No black men don't die, even if they try, we gotta rise, restore the black family, strengthen ties, strengthen ties, strengthen ties. Not you despair, remember who you are by the wool of your hair, the bronze of your skin from the head to the feet. 1 million strong black soldiers in the streets, unrivaled in the west, setting in the east. The God of my chest against the mark of the beast. 1 million strong, we all I need to speak. We all we need, the power of God is unity. 1 million strong, come together. 1 million, together, get it together. 1 million, we come together. 1 million strong, and it's all come together. 1 million, we got to get it together. 1 million, when we come together. 1 million strong, and it's all come together. 1 million, we got to get it together. 1 million, when we come together. 1 million, and it's all fear no evil, the God be amongst his people. Remove all labels, the black nation all equal. Consider this table black scholars. We stick to the real laws, manifest by angels. Ignite the flames of this next all angels. Speak comparable to those visibly stable. Once was mighty evil, all as the chop down. Forgot the mighty tree had keys who broke and reclaimed the ground. If we thought we'd stay asleep, chest move family, keep it their eye on the beast. Get off that mountain, go and tell it out the street. West man, the light stays on in the heat. Nobody move, nobody make a sound. One is strong, the other on sacred ground. Another one in the arm just in case it goes down. You can, baby, pass it all around. 1 million strong, come together. 1 million, together, get it together. 1 million, we come together. 1 million strong, and it's all come together. 1 million, we got to get it together. 1 million, when we come together. 1 million strong, and it's all together. 1 million, we got to get it together. 1 million, when we come together. 1 million.
that at the
Black
Amazon store for
nation.
99 cents,
That's the
family. Go
situation.
ahead and check out the Amazon store and get the download the MP3 right now. 99 cents. It's yours. Check it out. Peace and blessings.
Thelightdome.